I'm John LeClaire, founder of Harvest Growth and developer of the perfect launch system for bringing products to market.
And I'm Austin Wilcox, one of the product launch specialists at Harvest Growth. We are behind-the-scenes experts behind many of the products you probably have in your home today. We put together this training to help you understand how to successfully bring a new product to market.
So who is this training for? Really, we put this training together to talk to inventors, entrepreneurs, and product marketers. Because we understand that launching a product, it's hard. We've had many clients that have started down that path and eventually end up successful, but it's not always easy out the gates. So we've developed a system and a formula that truly works. Now, I started working on this product launch formula many years ago at the University of Chicago Graduate School of Business. While I was there, I took many courses on product marketing, new product development, and other courses that I thought would help me to become an inventor and really understand how to get products into the marketplace. What I quickly realized is I knew and had the tools after taking these courses to launch a product as long as I had millions of dollars of funding and investment behind me. But to be able to start small and scrappy, the tools just weren't there. So I went and took a job with Kraft Foods, which is arguably one of the best classically trained environments to help you learn how to launch and market products. There I worked in the Planters brand, but I also worked in Nabisco new products and brought many products to market. And it was a great environment. I learned a lot, but really on how to launch a product for a big company or with big budgets. So from there I moved on to OxiClean. And at OxiClean I learned from the founders, the Apple family, on how to launch a product with a minimal budget, bring it to market, let it fund and pay for itself, and really grow that brand. Since then, I founded a company called Harvest Growth. We've been in business over a decade, and we've launched many products over the years, including Zip-It bedding and 6 Hour Sleep, and we've helped market GrillBot and launch Sonic scrubbers, and many, many other categories and products that total over 200 products that we've successfully taken to market over the years. Now let me show you an example. Here's a few of the videos for products that we have helped launch over the last few years.
Hi, Lou Manfredini here with great news if you have hardwood floors. Get a professional clean with the new hardwood floor mop from Bona, the world leader in hardwood floor finishes.
Peekaboo, peekaboo, peekaboo puppy, I love you.
The Peekaboo Puppy is made from the softest of materials and has the quality Gund has been known for over 100 years.
High repetition, low resistance exercise is the best way to tone your muscles and improve flexibility.
The GUI Gym can help you start a new routine or take your fitness to the next level.
Introducing Zip-It bedding. It's here at last. The revolutionary bedding with zippers that lets you make your bed super fast. Zip-It bedding works just like a sleeping bag, so it's easy, fast, and fun. It zips in just a second. Look, your bed is done.
GrillBot is the world's first and only automatic grill cleaner. Simply turn it on, set the timer, and let your GrillBot do the cleaning for you. The onboard computer chip creates a randomized pattern with each of the 3 brushes, ensuring full coverage of your grill, deep cleaning every corner.
America is the greatest country in the world. But how can you show your American pride when your flag always gets twisted up in the breeze and frays apart because it's made cheap overseas? You're a real American patriot. Now, fly a real American flag by Grace Alley.
Pony, Daddy, pony.
Simply wrap the Velcro straps and kneel down. Kids climb on the saddle and grab the handle and hang on.
Pony, 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 pony up, Daddy.
No more ripped collars, no more stretched shirts, and no more broken jewelry. It's time to play with your kids again.
The rubbing and scrubbing, cleaning the hard way?
Anthony Sullivan here for the new Sonic Scrubber. This powerful, portable Sonic cleaner is easy on your arm, weighs only ounces, and fits in the palm of your hand. It blasts away dirt and grime in seconds without any manual scrubbing.
Now I'll walk you through a few of our testimonials. These are some of our clients we've worked with over the years, including the founder of OxiClean, Joel Apple. Also Gary Sullivan, who is responsible for bringing to market the Snuggie. And Eric Hayes, you'll see on here, is the director of Bona. It's a 100-year-old company that we helped really grow in retail and consumer marketing after they were, before that, primarily a business-to-business company, and a few other of our happy clients over the years as well. Let me walk you through 3 myths that are very commonly understood or heard about product launches and why they're incorrect and how that helps you. So myth number 1 is that you need to spend millions of dollars on advertising. The second myth is that you need to spend or have thousands of units of inventory just to get started with your business. And myth number 3 is that if you've never launched a product before, then you won't succeed, that you need to know so much before even getting started. Now, all of these are not true, and let me explain why one at a time while I describe our process that we use that can help you to be successful with your product launch. Okay, myth number 1, that you need to spend millions of dollars on advertising in order to get the word about your product. Now, you do need to have awareness and education about a product, especially a new and unique product. But really, the first goal is revenue. As a small business, you need to first bring in revenue for your business so it can pay for itself. Most of us don't have the luxury of having investors behind us with tens of millions of dollars to fund our mistakes as we learn it. So we need to bring revenue in to pay for expenses, pay for inventory, to keep the lights on and keep growing the business. There is a model where the advertising can truly pay for itself. Now, let me explain the difference between traditional advertising, which we call branding advertising, versus direct response marketing. Now, branding advertising, the old-fashioned way of doing it, and still commonly used today by Coca-Cola and Ford, GM, all the big companies, as they spend millions or hundreds of millions of dollars sometimes getting the word out about their product and hoping that you go find it in retail or go buy it off of it from their car dealership, etc. So there's not a connection between the awareness and the actual purchase of the product. Direct response marketing is very different. Direct response, which includes online and TV infomercials and the like, there's a call to action that directly connects the advertising to the purchase. And when you can track that, you can have advertising pay for itself and help the business to grow while it self-funds. Let me explain what I mean. So for example, with direct response advertising, if you start with $1 of investment or media, so you buy $1 of TV advertising or Facebook advertising online, and that generates $2 in revenue, well, now you've paid for the advertising, you've covered the cost of goods, etc. So now you can reinvest that back into the business. So that $2 now becomes $4. And that doubles again in a successful campaign to $8. And it keeps growing from that point forward. So in a few short weeks, we've gone from $1 of investment to $64 in this example. And it just grows exponentially from there. Now, often, for example, on a TV marketing campaign, we'll usually start with $10,000. So that $10,000 becomes $20,000, which becomes $40,000, $80,000. So that the scale is the same, but you double your business every time, or you double your spend every time that you go on the air, is the intention of direct response marketing. So myth number 2 is that you need thousands of units of inventory just to get started. So which can be kind of scary for an inventor. It's expensive to build up this inventory and take that risk. Well, in reality, too much inventory in the beginning can actually be bad for a business for a couple reasons. One is it gives you loss of flexibility. If you want to make changes, you've already got stuck with potentially thousands and thousands of units of inventory. But also it locks up your cash flow. So when you give cash or your investment to the factory, that's less money that you can put into advertising and into growing your business. So let me share an analogy. This is from my good friend Joel Apple, the founder or one of the founders of OxyClean. He's shared this in a meeting many years ago where I was with him talking about a train analogy, comparing a new product launch like a train speeding down the tracks. Now you could stop the train and work for months or years to perfect it before starting to move towards your destination, which is what big companies tend to do, and it stops innovation in its tracks. Or the entrepreneurial and innovative way to do it is to start the train down the tracks and fix it as you move forward. At times, things will fly off the train, and sometimes it's not pretty in the very beginning, but you will get to your destination much faster. You will innovate rather than stagnate. And some learnings you can only get after you launch. It's okay to start with minimal inventory and sell direct to the consumer so you can correct problems as you move forward. All right, let's talk about myth number 3. If you've never launched a product, then you won't succeed. Now, many people think this, how do you compete with Apple, Procter & Gamble, and other billion-dollar brands? Well, in reality, their size actually slows them down. And most of them actually work with startups to deliver true innovation. So for example, my time at Nabisco, really, I had a good friend of mine who is the brand manager of Oreo. This is actually back during the trans fat lawsuit from many years ago, but it was also during a boon for Oreo where the brand had significant growth. And it was single-digit growth, but for them, very, very strong growth. And the way that they did that was not by launching brand new products, but by bringing out flavors. So one of the first that they brought out many years ago is the chocolate Oreo. Not the greatest innovation in the world by changing the flavor of the cream in the inside the Oreo, but that's what they did. And it worked well. So it again gave single-digit growth, but it grew the company. It was very, very successful. From there, they went to other flavors, like my personal favorite, mint Oreo, but also others, brownie batter to candy cane to cinnamon bun, and some kind of even fun or funny flavors that are out there. Some of these, I'm not even sure if this is real. The Flamin' Hot Cheetos one, it's pretty funny. But there's dozens of types of Oreo. Many of them are limited edition, sold in a few locales or done for a short period of time just to bring attention to the brand. But this is not true innovation. It's great for the company. This is how they grow. But if you look at how to double or triple the size of a company, minor, what we call line extensions or flavor adjustments or additions like these are not really how you're going to double or triple the size of your company like we do as startups, as entrepreneurs, as small business owners. So let me show you a couple more examples. So one of these is Altoids. Many of you are familiar with Altoids. This brand or this product was heralded in the 1990s after it was purchased by Kraft Foods. So I was there while we still owned, back in the day, Kraft Foods owned Altoids. Then it was sold off to Wrigley, and now I believe it's owned by Mars, who knows. But it was actually established in 1780, so it's not a true new innovation. Kraft is the one in the 1990s that really grew the distribution and made the awareness widespread and well-known. But the actual development was done by a very small company, hundreds of years prior, or over 100 years prior. And really what was unique about this was not so much the mint. It was powerful, but it was the packaging and the positioning, right? It was positioned as curiously strong mints and kind of has changed the landscape of mints where they've gotten a little more potent or powerful since then. Most recently, this brand was sold off for $1.5 billion. So this really became a powerful growth engine, but it was developed by a small company. Again, a long time ago. We don't want to be that slow with our sale to a bigger company, of course. But this innovation came from a small company bought by a large one. Now we're going to see another example of this. It was my time that I spent at OxiClean, where I ran many of the new product launches. I ran the Kaboom brand as well. Well, this company was founded in the early 1990s by Max Apple and later run by his two sons, Joel and David Apple. And now it's the #1 stain removal brand in the world. It's not that old. It's less than 30 years old, competing against 100-plus-year-old brands. And it hit the #1 with less than 15 years in market, which is incredible for this very old category, a very large category. And really what they did was a completely new positioning at the time. That was a unique marketing platform for the cleaning category, meaning infomercial. So they used this powerful positioning of it powerfully cleans any stain, and the way that it was shown with Billy Mays back in the day via TV infomercials and live selling on HSN with powerful demonstrations hadn't been done before. But really what created this wasn't just the wow demonstrations, but the fact that the advertising was paying for itself. So when they competed against Clorox, for example, OxiClean was able to have free advertising and able to spend tens of millions of dollars making money every time they go on the air. So even though it was a small company to start, they competed against the biggest companies in the world because the advertising was paying for itself, because they used direct response advertising as opposed to branding advertising. Long story short, too, is on the story with Clorox, they actually came out with a product called Clorox Oxy Magic. Very similar name, positioning, spent millions of dollars in advertising, and actually took a big chunk out of OxiClean at the time in market share, et cetera, just because they were advertising so heavily. But it wasn't direct response, and they weren't making money back directly from it. So that they had immediate revenue, but they were not able to sustain it. That old branding model event ended up failing for them for that particular product. So that product doesn't even exist anymore. OxiClean is back now with a vengeance and really has delivered incredible growth over the years. It was several years on the Inc. 500 list of fastest growing companies. And eventually it was bought out by a company, Arm & Hammer. And let's talk about his disappearing. What happened to the innovation once Church & Dwight, or actually the company's called Church & Dwight, the brand that they're known for is Arm & Hammer. So they were purchased back in 2006. And part of the goal was to deliver innovation to the parent company, Church & Dwight. But really what happened, they bring that product back up. So all they really did was add OxiClean to existing products. And it's been helpful for their company. This is really a company that is very successful and a respectable company. They grow through acquisition, not through true internal innovation, which is not bad. That's fine. That's really what big companies do. The good news for us as small business owners and entrepreneurs and inventors is big companies are looking for this. They're coming to us looking for innovation. So don't be fearful that big categories are out there, big products and big brands are out there. When we start small, we prove ourselves with direct response marketing and are able to get the awareness and education out there. We're able to actually create demand for a product that it may, if we want to, be bought out by an additional company later on. All right, so let me move on to just this statement really. This is, I think, an important thing, is that big companies, at the end of the day, they need innovative entrepreneurs for true innovation. They do not, for the most part, innovate internally. It's just not in their mantra. When they do, it's extremely slow. I've been on the inside at multi-billion-dollar Kraft Foods back in the day. Great company, but slow to do true innovation because for them it's so much more expensive. They'd rather buy it from the outside. You really don't need all of the resources of a big company if you have the right system. And that's what we're going through today, is this system that helps you to launch products in a way that will not only compete with the bigger companies, but beat them in many ways. So let me walk through one example. So this is a product called Pony Up Daddy that started off as a simple prototype, like many products do, not that long ago, only a couple of years ago. And one of the first things that we helped them succeed with was paid social media advertising, which led to millions of views of the video and hundreds of thousands of shares, including countless submissions with parents sending in their product pictures. A lot of fun we've had with this. Now, it eventually ended up on national television with TV infomercials, The Today Show, and The Ellen Show. Pony Up Daddy is now distributed internationally. It's carried all over the world and has become a very big success. And it's because of this direct response marketing approach that we taught them, that we helped them use and really helped them develop for their brand. So that's what I'll walk through today. Next, I'll walk you through the process that we use to make this and hundreds of other products successful. If you'd like our help with your product launch, visit us at perfectlaunch.com. You can set up a free strategy meeting with one of our product launch specialists, and they can answer specific questions to help you go to market or grow existing sales with our perfect launch approach. The perfect launch process that we developed and that we use really has 3 steps or stages. The first is to prepare, next is to produce, and next is to profit. And I'll explain exactly what each of these mean. So to prepare, the first thing we do is when we prepare before we launch, we want to first have a product immersion. And with this product immersion, specifically working on the product itself, we're discovering or developing the features, which are the facts about the product, the color, the size, what it does, and the benefits, which is how it helps us. So this is, Bob Circosta always teaches this in a great way. He calls it WizGat. So what's so good about that? When you've got a fact about a product, I always ask, what's so good about that? Or how does that help me? What's the benefit to me of the product? And that's what we want to focus on as we go through the product immersion. So whether we're doing this for one of our clients and getting to know their product well, or you as the inventor, the entrepreneur, the product marketer, to really focus on what are the key features of the product and what are the key benefits that consumers care about. There's hundreds of things sometimes we can talk about with our products, but what are the key ones that our consumers are really focusing on? One of the ways to get there is through testing. So we're going to get into market research later on, but this early phase of testing during the prepare phase is to test the product, to make sure it works as promised, that make sure these benefits and features we're talking about actually work with the product. And also the manufacturing cost, making sure we really understand, even if we're not yet in manufacturing or production, what is it going to cost us at low volumes, and then also what is it going to cost us long term at high volumes. Now, many times we deal or work with entrepreneurs that are worried because their cost of goods or cost of manufacturing is very high up front, so their margins are low. But always look forward towards large volumes where you can get to. It's okay to break even or even lose a little bit of money in the early days as you have small levels of inventory because you're testing and you're learning, as opposed to trying to get your unit cost down by purchasing way too much inventory. So eventually we'll get there, and focus on your long-term cost of goods or cost of manufacturing as you prepare for your product launch. The second stage after the product immersion is what we call category and competitive review. Now, here's an example of a report that we provide when we do this for our clients. Now, this is something you can do internally. It's kind of an eye chart. It's not meant to, you don't have to read all these details here. Let me walk you through the key things that are on there and what we do as part of our category and competitive review. So the first thing is, as we look at competitors out there, now these are not always just direct competitors. They don't need to be the exact same product that we're selling, but a general category or a product that has similar benefits, right? So it may work differently, but it's serving the same audience in a similar way, things like that. So we want to look at, once we find and identify who those competitors are and what's in this category, we look for specific websites. So what are they saying? What are they doing successfully? What works as they sell their product? What's good? What's bad about their website? I had a manager I worked with many years ago that coined the term, I think, at least. I heard it first from her, of borrowing with pride. So as we look to others, we're not stealing ideas or product names or benefits or anything like that, but it's learning from them on what works and what doesn't, and then retooling it, obviously, to make it work for our specific business. So feel free to borrow with pride some ideas that are out there and successfully working for some of your competitors or for the category. Also look at offers. So what's the selling price? What do they sell with it? What do they package with it? Does it free shipping and handling versus paid shipping and handling, etc.? What are the specific features and benefits that they talk about? So is there something that they don't have that we can add to ours and become better than them? Or maybe they have a feature or benefit that we could easily add to ours we hadn't thought of, things like that. So just getting to know the competition out there, not just through looking through their website, but buying and trying out their products to make sure you understand well the category, looking for issues that they might have. And that comes to our next one, which is consumer or customer reviews. So if they're sold on Amazon, for example, this is an easy place to get relatively speaking, honest customer reviews. So look at the positive reviews, but also look at the negatives. Where are your opportunities as you look at the reviews on Amazon that you can improve on with your product to make yours better than the competition? Next one is distribution. So distribution is looking at where are they selling their product. What catalogs, generally online, obviously what retailers, what websites, etc. So how are they distributing their product, and are those channels that we can look into for ourselves as well for our business? Pricing. Now I said offer before. Offer is a little bit different from pricing. So pricing might be the price of your item. The offer is the complete set of the entire pricing that's included with it. So in other words, the price of goods, the shipping and handling, any items that are upsold or included with it as premiums, etc. So we want to look at those a little bit separately. And then analyze their paid traffic. So there are ways and tools that we can use to analyze where are they advertising and how are they advertising, right? So they're using video, are they using, what keywords are they using, etc., which gets us down to search terms as well. But even with paid traffic, we can look at keywords also. So our third step after this category and competitive review, as part of our preparation phase still, is consumer insights. Now here's an example. This is a market research report. We do these for our clients again. You don't have to look like this necessarily if you do this on your own, but this is, if you work with us, this is the type of report you might see. Again, not meant to look at the details on here, but let me share with you what we look at as we look at consumer insights. Really talking to customers, potential customers for buyers of your product. We want to understand who they are so we know how to market to them, who they are and how to market to them. So to identify who they are, we first look at demographics. So as we analyze those that are most likely to purchase our products, we call it high purchase intent. So who are those people? Age, gender, income, geography, and anything else that we can know about the demographics of our target market. The next stage we do with that is called indexing. So we find, okay, who's buying our product, what age, income, gender, etc. And then we index that. So without going into the detailed math here, you probably know what indexing is. If not, it's something we can talk about, or you can look it up separately. But when we calculate the index on a product. So for example, we've some products that might be an index of 0.8 for men and a 1.3, let's say, for women. They're not additive, so don't worry about the math comparing between the two. But if you're below a 1, that means you're less likely to have that demographic in your target market. So if it's a 0.8 for men, that means men are, they're in there. It's not a terrible number, but women are a more important or a bigger part of our target market because they're a 1.3, they're above a 1. So again, without getting into the boring nitty-gritty details, it's indexing that target market and understanding exactly who the buyer is so you can target them with laser focus. I mentioned purchase intent. So this is something we look at. How likely is the person to purchase your product? And we want to score these. Now, we've done hundreds of these types of surveys over the last decade. So for us, we know what the numbers mean in general, but as you look out there, we want to look for high levels of purchase intent. For us, again, when you have a data set to look back to, we can get into the nitty gritty and really understand small differences in numbers, seeing the meaning behind them as they compare to other products in the same category, in different categories, etc. But look for purchase intent and how it scores. You want to look for likability, so how much do people like your product? How unique is your product? What are the features and benefits that are most preferred? So we often have them rank these, where we'll have a list of 10 or 15 different features and benefits, and they pick their top 2 or 3. And we can score those. So find out what is most popular about this product. So this helps us with our messaging, so we know what to talk about with the product. We'll also want to test pricing. So I'll get into later on how we calculate pricing, but really want to confirm first with consumers, what are they willing to pay, or what do they expect to pay for your product? And then also any concerns they may have. This is typically an open-ended question in surveys for us. Just any questions or concerns that come up, things that we may not have thought about. So you're going to get some weird ones in there, of course, but as you go through these responses, just look for patterns. So what concerns are prevalent or are seen quite often. So after we finish this first phase of preparation, we're now ready to start to get ready to go to market, to really go to market, I should say, which is our produce, right? We're getting ready to produce the campaign or put together the campaign. The first step we're going to do of produce is offer development. So as we look at this, it could be offer, I call it offer, which includes pricing, again, shipping, handling, upsells, etc. We first want to find out what are consumers willing to pay, and that's what we just talked about in this survey, right? So we want to do some market research to find out what consumers are willing to pay for the product. But we also want to look at competitive pricing. We go back to our competitive research that we've done and make sure, even though consumers might be willing to pay something, are we pricing ourselves too low, too high, etc. So looking at the competition. And we also want to make sure the costs work. Now, in order for the margins to work, I won't go into all the detailed math here of why this makes sense, but whether you're selling in retail or online, you typically want your margins to be at least a 4 times to 5 times markup. That means you take your cost of goods and you multiply by at least 4 or 5 to get to your selling price. So for example, if it costs you $2 to manufacture your product, that's your inventory cost, you want to sell that for either $8 or $10 or more, right? So if the willingness to pay is higher than that, fantastic, your margin is even better. But if it's not, then all of a sudden now we have a problem. If you're buying it for $2 and the market is telling you they won't pay more than $3 for your product, that's not going to be enough margin for you to pay for marketing, to pay for overhead, or even wholesale, right? So if Walmart buys from you, they typically have a 50% markup. So if they want to sell on shelf for that $3 price, they want to buy it for $1.50. Now you're losing money. So that's part of the math behind this. Make sure that it's at least 4 to 5 times markup, but again, more if the market is willing to bear it. And then there's 2 other pieces on here, a premium and an upsell, which are included in the offer when it's sold direct to consumer. A premium is something that's given away or included with the main offer. So in a TV spot or an online video or a Facebook ad, for example, if you sell something for, let's say, $19.99 and you get a second one free, that's the premium. Or if you get another item for free, that's the premium, if it's shown in the campaign or in the video with it. An upsell is on what we call the back end. So these are products that are added to it after you've said yes to the main offer. Okay, I'm going to purchase this, I enter my credit card information, then we come back and try to sell upsells. So hey, how'd you like a second one? How'd you like a deluxe version of this, a large version, a small version, a portable version? Or what we call ancillary products, products that are similar or speak to the same category and are well understood, but we can provide a good value. So these are ways to increase your upsells, or ways to increase your average order value. Oftentimes on a TV campaign, for example, what might cost or what we might sell for $19.99, our average order value, meaning the average revenue we receive from each customer, could be $40, $50 or even more. So it's a way to really increase the average revenue we get per customer, which really helps our profitability. Shipping and handling is always an important part of your offer development. Sometimes it's included, sometimes it's not. It depends on who we're competing against. Now, shipping and handling is also included as an important part of our offer development. Sometimes it's included as free shipping and handling. Sometimes they pay it. Many times, especially TV consumers, are willing to pay for it. They're used to it. It's normal. Sometimes, depending on your competitors that you're up against, shipping and handling has to be free. So that's something to pay attention to as you put together your offer as well. And this can all be handled during market research, but also during testing as we get into a product testing. Or, I'm sorry, a launch testing. Okay, after we've developed the offer, now it's time to work on the messaging. Now, the first thing we do is our messaging master, we call it, is our video script. But it also includes website copy and then Facebook and Instagram, our headline copy, our marketing copy that goes in those messages as some examples of what we mean by messaging. So let me walk you through. This is something we've put together after being in the direct response marketing industry for so long and have had so many successful, especially video campaigns on national TV campaigns, as well as Facebook and online marketing campaigns. There's a formula we follow. Now, not every video is the same, but there are key things or key elements to look for in most videos that make them successful when they're able to fit in. So online videos are a little bit different from TV. Some of this content might not be in the video, but it might be included on the landing page when you get there. But these are key elements in your messaging that you want to have included, generally in the video, but oftentimes in the ad copy, if it's on Facebook, or on the landing page once they get there. So a problem-solving opening. Product solution products are easy to sell. If you find a problem that is very common and your product solves that, that's an easy product to sell. We're solving something for a big or wide audience, and making that obvious to consumers is what does our product do? That's kind of that core benefit we're going after is really the problem that people face, and how are we going to help them overcome that? Next, we want to showcase unique features and benefits. So what makes your product different from anything else out there? If you've got a Me Too product that people can buy at any retail store, or they've seen it 100 times, or they already have one at home, if it's not unique, it's hard to sell, right? So we want to showcase what makes your product unique and different and better from anything else out there. Next is something we call the magic demo. Again, this comes from my TV background, but a magic demonstration. So for OxiClean, it was when we had Billy Mays stir the fishbowl had black water, poured a scoop of OxiClean in, and it went to white almost instantaneously. That was the magic demonstration that really put OxiClean onto the map. But every product can have what is the key demonstration that grabs their attention. So whether you're watching on TV, you're scrolling up your Facebook ads, most of these campaigns are really what we call marketing interruption, right? You're not looking for ads. You're trying to do something else. You're watching a TV show and a commercial comes on. You're scrolling up your Facebook feed and a video pops up. We need to grab your attention. One of the great ways to do that is through a magic demonstration. So something that's almost unbelievable, or at least compelling and interesting, that makes you stop and want to pay attention. We also want to explain how it works. Sometimes this is a step skipped over by, I would say, novice video marketers. It's easy to forget. It seems obvious, but really simplify how your product works. The more unique it is, the more simple you need to explain it. A common phrase we use in TV marketing oftentimes is as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, do this, 1, 2, do that, etc. So it's the simple step-by-step process of exactly how it works. Some of these can be done in script format. Many of them can also be done just visually. We may not have to say it's as easy as this, but just show literally how the product functions, how it works. Product comparisons can also be extremely effective. By this I mean comparing against the competition. So our product with OxiClean gets out stains that others can't, right? Showing a side-by-side comparison how ours works versus competitors. The more unique our product is, the less a product comparison is needed. If it's truly new to market, then it may be that we don't need to compare against anybody else out there. We are different, we're brand new. Now, if we are truly unique, there may be some believability concerns or issues. That's where testimonials or endorsements, celebrity endorsements, come into play. This builds credibility for your product. Showing real user testimonials, statements that they've used the product, that they love it. And the more emotion you can get behind this, the more real these seem. And sometimes these can be filmed pretty easily. If they film it with their own iPhone, especially for online videos, quality is not the important thing. It's the emotion and how real these testimonials and endorsements seem. Next, we're big believers in raising and answering objections. Now, we don't want to raise concerns that our consumers might not be thinking, but if you learn in market research, there's a very common concern or objection that comes up when they hear or see this product. We want to answer that. So we want to address it very quickly, explain why it's not true, etc., in a positive way. So make sure that any potential objections are impacted. And that's why market research, one of these reasons that market research is so crucial. Again, most video marketers and product marketers do not take that important step of doing upfront market research and talking to consumers, and because they think they know their product. They may, but they don't know how their product is perceived in consumers' minds. That's why it's so important. Next is to give a high value offer. So on TV, we almost always show the price point and build up the value of the offer so it seems almost unreal. How can we afford to do that? In online marketing, we often do not include it in the video, but it might be in the copy on the Facebook ad, for example, and then definitely when you get to the landing page, just because it's easier. It's a one click to get over to the website. So the value we build on the website when we have more time, as opposed to scaring them away in the ad, unless it's a truly phenomenal value of something that's not a really unique product, but something that's well understood, but way, significantly cheaper, I should say, than other products. And finally, a guarantee of some sort, money back guarantee, satisfaction guarantee. Again, not necessarily in the video, but somewhere included, whether it's on the landing page and the headline copy. Almost a mandatory. A 30-day money back, no questions asked guarantee is crucial. Even if you have the type of product that they will send back, they'll use it, send it back, you can't resell it, it's okay. You want consumers to feel that they have no risk as they try out your product. And the better it is, the lower your refunds or returns are going to be. Typically, if you're $20 or less with your product, your refunds or returns are going to be below 2%. But you want to make sure that they've got the ability to do it, and your sales will be significantly higher. So it certainly makes financial sense to do that. The third phase of our produce stage after messaging mastery is, now that we've got the messaging figured out, it's going into video production. Now, you can test on your own. Obviously, one of our core aspects or divisions of our business is video production. We've been doing national TV infomercial video production for over a decade. Before that, even at OxyClean and in Kraft Foods as well. I've been very involved in the video for a long time. But if you've got no budget, you can certainly do a video on your own just to get a very small test campaign started. I will say, if you eventually launch with an expert, you'll typically have better results. So it funds or pays for itself, just because you're paying somebody who knows what they're doing, because they've made mistakes over the years, right? When they've launched a lot of campaigns like we have, we know what pitfalls to avoid. So rather than spending money on your own on media behind a campaign that doesn't work, if you spend a little bit of money on getting the video just right when you get started, then it pays for itself, because you're avoiding those mistakes, you're avoiding wasted media dollars. Now, we've seen several times over a 500% increase in sales when we've taken over a video campaign from a client. So when they put something together either on their own or maybe with somebody who's a company who's not as experienced with direct response marketing, we've been able to take these over and dramatically increase sales. Again, several times, over a 5 times increase in sales. Had great results. Let me show you one example. This actually is not that bad. This is a product of a client of ours. The video is shot fine. They shot it themselves, and it shows how it works. I just want to show the difference between shooting your own video and when it's done by a professional, and the results that might be able to follow from that. So this is a product called GrillBot, one of our favorite clients. It's a robotic grill cleaner, as you'll see in a second. Again, this is just a demonstration video shot by the client. Let me show you a piece of it. So again, not bad. It's a good video. It shows how it works, and when you've got a great product, a simple video can certainly work. So let me show you. This is the video that we put together for them that we got onto national television. Same product, just shot again by in a professional way, and really initially created for national TV. So we put it on for a national TV infomercial, and has also done very well on Facebook. You may have seen it around Facebook as well. So let me play a part of this video.
The GrillBot is the world's first and only automatic grill cleaner. Simply turn it on, set the timer, and let your GrillBot do the cleaning for you. The onboard computer chip creates a randomized pattern with each of the 3 brushes, ensuring full coverage of your grill, deep cleaning every corner. Hard manual scrubbing can actually harm your grill, damage your brush, or even burn you. The GrillBot is perfectly balanced to provide the optimal power and pressure without you having to lift a finger. And the interchangeable and replaceable brass, stainless steel, or nylon brushes combine with programmed cleaning times of 10, 20, or 30 minutes to give a custom level of clean on all types of grills, from gas to charcoal to infrared, even camping and tailgating grills. The GrillBot does literally all the work, so you don't have to.
I was skeptical. The first time you pick up GrillBot, you know it's serious quality, and it cleans incredibly well.
When I bought the GrillBot, my grill was a mess. It hadn't been cleaned in months. I turned the GrillBot on and forgot about it. When I opened the lid, I couldn't believe it. My grill grates looked new again.
The GrillBot works with hot or cold grills, so you can use it before or after you grill. Just turn it on, close the lid, and hang out with your dinner guests, and the GrillBot does all the cleaning for you. The quick-release brushes are dishwasher safe, and with the rechargeable lithium-ion battery, it's easy to make sure your GrillBot is always ready to clean. Check out the GrillBot, available in black, red, blue, and orange at getgrillbot.com. The GrillBot makes the perfect get for the griller in your life. Every GrillBot comes with 3 top-quality brass brushes, a charger for the lithium.
So I'll stop the video there. This is, as I mentioned, it's a great product. And in order to be successful with a campaign, that's a big part of it. Now, the best video in the world, combined with the best marketing campaign in the world, can certainly sell a lot of product, even for a product that's not that good. But the better the product is, the easier it is to keep selling. Now, that comes in initial sales, but also it helps returns, right? If this was an overpromise and didn't deliver, people would get their GrillBots home and would send them back. This is a great product, so returns are really low with it, which is great. But also it keeps the word going. People share with others when they try it, socially share with others, so it helps the campaign to grow. So, obviously, you've got to have a good product to get started. This is the assumption behind all of this. Make sure quality is good. Make sure it does what it promises to do. And then put together a marketing campaign that's going to really help you sell it. So after we produce, now we're ready to profit from the campaign, finally, right? So we do all this work up front. Every entrepreneur, inventor, product marketer, you want to get to market as fast as you possibly can to start getting revenue in. But these first 2 steps of preparing and producing in the right way are so crucial. In order to really profit, you've got to do it right. So you've got to know who your customer is. You've got to speak to them in the right way. You've got to price it well. You've got to have the right video in place. You've got to have the right messaging and the right audience you're speaking to once you get to Facebook, once you get to your TV stations, etc. Now it's time to really reap the benefits from that. So the first step of this profit phase is really our test launch. So I want to say something about this. If it's not yet profitable in your test launch, so once you launch this, either with a relatively small national TV campaign or with a Facebook campaign, for example, after you've spent a couple or a few $1,000s, if it's not yet profitable, run it back through the system until it's dialed in. So you can stay in this testing phase until you get it profitable. And then from there, you scale it up, which is what we call campaign optimization. So once you get it to the phase where, okay, we're starting to make some money here, how do we really perfect this? And what do we look at in order to dial in or improve the results? Really, there's 3 areas we look at in campaign optimization. Now, this is an important part of this training that we've learned over the years. The 3 key levers you can pull to change any campaign are, the first one is audience, which is your target market you're talking to. You can change that over time. Now, the nice thing with Facebook and Instagram marketing is you can get this very specific, exactly speak to the right person, even if it's a niche product. Now, TV is done through the station selection that you do, which also helps. So dialing in that audience and getting it just right. Next is your offer. Now this, by changing a price point, we've had campaigns, even with relatively minor changes in prices, going from $19.99 to $14.99 or vice versa. We've seen results double or even triple. This can have a huge impact on results. The nice thing with Facebook and Instagram marketing is you can do these and other changes to your campaign very quickly. So we can launch several tests either at the same time or run one for a few days and switch it out and really get in there even actually daily sometimes and make tweaks and changes to the campaign to optimize it and dial it in. The last piece is your messaging. So is it the video, the headline copy, the messaging on your website? We went into this previously, but you're getting your messaging dialed in just right will help improve your results. So these are the 3 levers you can pull in any product launch campaign. Of course, you can change your product as well, but once your product is set, it's talking to the right audience, developing the right offer, and speaking to your customer, your consumer in the right way, the most compelling way, your messaging. Now that's your campaign optimization. Once you've got your campaign fully optimized, now it's time to really harvest the growth potential of your product. Now, when we say harvest growth, it's also the name of our company. The reason we call it that is that's what we do, is help our clients harvest the growth potential of their product by dialing in a campaign and then really growing it from that point forward. There's 3 basic ways we can do this. One is online, which is Facebook, Instagram, Amazon, organic website, etc. So it's dialing in online sales for your business. Also TV, which includes infomercials, HSN or QVC, and also PR, getting on national TV shows like the Today Show, Ellen Show, like the Pony Up Daddy did, and getting into retail, which is really online, brick and mortar, and catalog. So these are the 3 main buckets to focus on to really harvest the growth potential of your product. And then once you've got that dialed in, if you're a US marketer, starting here, it's taking it international. So this is through Amazon, through distributors. They can take it into international shores as well. We've got some resources we can help with that. In fact, we can talk about resources real quick here. So we work with really all the top suppliers in almost any field of launching a product. We don't do it all in-house, right? But we've got many suppliers that we work with and vendors. We know the good ones, the bad ones, and what they're good at, frankly. Some are good at some things and not others, etc. What I don't want to do is publish a list because it changes. We have a vendor very recently that we've worked with for almost 8 years, and they've been very, very good to work with. But over the last couple of months have become very difficult. I don't know what's changed. Something internally has changed. We don't recommend them anymore. And so what I don't want to do is put them on a list or anybody like them that might change and be bad. So the best way is to contact us for up-to-date preferred vendors. It might be from fulfillment to website development to call centers, prototype development, manufacturing, television media, online marketing, video production, which of course we do in-house.
Let's recap what we taught here. There are 3 basic phases that make a product launch a perfect launch: prepare, produce, and profit. If you'd like us to help you throughout the entire process, including video production, reach out to one of our product launch experts like Austin.
We'll do a free assessment of your product and recommend the right launch strategy to follow.
Contact us for updated recommended resources for fulfillment, website development, call center, prototypes, manufacturing, TV media, online marketing, video production, or if we can help answer any questions about your product launch.